What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2 my NHL 23 Vancouver Canucks Franchise Mode Series. Thank you guys all so much for the support on the first video. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this one as well if you haven't yet. Hit that sub button. Now, as you guys can see here, it's currently in the preseason. We have a record of 4-1-1 because Manko there over point per game with 8-6. If you guys missed the last episode, I definitely recommend, checking that out before this one. But regardless, the Minnesota Wild actually won the Stanley Cup with a $12.5 million dead cap hit from Parise Suter buyouts. Very, very impressive. Now, I'll show you guys the lines we have heading into this year. I'm very, very excited to see how the team plays. Now, starting out, first line left wing, Alec Amonte. I couldn't be happier with this draft pick. We got him 13th overall in the 2023 draft class. You can see there, shots insane, 5-star, 90 plus, tons of X factors, pretty good hands, good skater, obviously mediumly potential, 80 overall right of the draft. I'm really hoping he goes off playing with PD and Besser on that first line. Speaking of PD, guys, I've had a bunch of people in the comments saying that I didn't say his name right either way last time when I said like Peterson as well as Pettersson. I want you guys to see exactly how PD says his name. These are words from his mouth. Watch the clip.
Okay, Swedish is Elias Pettersson. I wanted in Canadian accent like Elias Peterson.
Alright, so you guys have it. That's how he wants you to say his name, either in the Swedish accent or Canadian. Hopefully they'll put the debate to rest of how you say his name, but honestly for the rest of this series, I'm just calling him PD. It's way easier, and no one seems to mind that. Connor Garling on the second line with JT Miller and Kuzmenko getting a +5. On the third line, we got Hoglander there with Stahl and Podkolzin getting a +2. And finally on the fourth line, we got Ryan Reeves there, the enforcer, with Bonino and Stanika. So I feel like the forward group there is really good. We got some stars. We got a lot of depth. Defensively here even, we got Quinn Hughes on the top pair with Doughty. Obviously we made that huge trade, Horvat for Doughty. I'm hoping these two together play well. Kind of Doughty lets Hughes just do his offensive thing and put up some points. Rathbone on the second pair there with Gostisbehere. And on the third pair, we have Shen and Myers. Definitely, more physical. Goaltending-wise, Demko still our starter. We brought in Nolojevic, though, to be the backup. In terms of the special teams, I feel like power play 1 here is absolutely stacked. Again, really trying to give Amonte that ice time. If he can take the call there from Bedard, that'd be nuts. Second unit there even is pretty solid. 4-man power play 1, tons of speed, tons of skill. Even the second unit I think is very good as well. PK-wise, we've got Miller and Stahl in the first unit. Both guys pretty solid defensively. Peterson out there with Stanika. You got Bonino, Podkolzin on the third. 3-man 1 led by Stahl should be fine. Peterson, Miller, usually for the 3-man, unless they're very good defensively, just throw out kind of the best center. Now in terms of the AHL here, guys, first line is stacked. Sean Farrell, Lekermacki, Gunler, plus 3 chemistry boosts as well, so hopefully it's not too long before these guys make the NHL team. The rest of the guys aren't the best, but they're not the worst either. In terms of the defense, we got Stillman, Johansson on the top pair, Wu and Johnson on the second, with Kalinuk and Juleson on the bottom pair. In terms of goaltending here, we got Spencer Martin starting, Silov's there backing him up. So I feel like AHL team should be a playoff team again. The NHL team really should be, as well as contending. I also asked you guys last video who should be the new captain, and pretty much everybody said PD, so he's rocking the C there. I gave the other A to Miller, and of course an A to Hughes. Now in terms of the ratings, guys, I'll show you those before we start this sim. Again, last year, we were first round exits. Hopefully this year can go a bit deeper than that. So we've got 92 offense, 93 defense, 86 goaltending. Let's see how we do. And check out this trade offer we just got from the Capitals, guys. Anthony Mantha, Carl Hagelin, and a second round pick for Gostisbehere. I know there's somebody in the comments who really wants me to get Anthony Mantha. They know him in real life, but 1 year left. I'm just going to wait till he's in free agency. Definitely declining that. I feel like, again, we kind of need defense more than offense. Getting pretty close here to the Christmas break. Currently a solid record. Now, this is a pretty good trade-off from the LA Kings. Kupari in a third for Shen in a fifth. Let's take a look here and see how good's Kupari. Sometimes he turns out, other times not so much. 23 years old there, 78 overall, medium top 6. Currently in the AHL. I mean, he's not bad. How's Shen doing for us? He's a +11. He's a physical guy, so it's going to be kind of tough to gauge how he's really playing for us, just looking at the stats. Wow, I think I actually might say no to this, just because Kupari as a prospect, 2378, is pretty average. I feel like if the team's playing well right now, why break it up? And so after Christmas break now, guys, we have a record here of 19, 12, and 4. Puts us third in the division there, 1 point behind the Flames. We're actually 7 points behind the Kings. Wow, so they're crushing it after, I believe, missing the playoffs last year. JT Miller currently a point per game. AHL-wise, Lekermacki also a point per game. Love seeing that. And the AHL team there is also in a playoff spot right now. Just holding on there, the final spot in their division. And we just got another interesting trade-off here, guys, from Gostisbehere. Gallagher in a fourth for Gostisbehere in a third. Thing is, I feel like Gallagher is, probably like an 84 overall. So same rating as Gostisbehere as a defenseman. He's an 86, actually. So I believe he went up in rating maybe a bit. Good two-way player, but again, I think Gostisbehere just matters more for us. Would be cool, though, because Gallagher actually played for Vancouver Giants, but again, just going to hold on to our guy for now. Wow, another really big trade offer here for Gostisbehere, Backstrom and Dowd. I'm just honestly curious, what's Backstrom's rating right now? 85 overall, but he's got 45 assists. Obviously a great playmaker. Gostisbehere here, also 84 overall, only has 15 assists. Honestly, I thought he'd produce a lot more than that. 24 points, playing second pair, second power play, second four-man power play. I mean, he's got 5-star puck skills, 91 passing. This is almost worth it. It's just the cap hit there for Backstrom is definitely concerning. I'm going to say no, but if Backstrom's making less money, I think I would have pulled the trigger. And so now, guys, we're at the deadline here with a record of 36, 17, and 9. We are now first place in the division there with 81 points. The Avalanche, though, with 87 are first in the league. So we're actually second there in the league. AHL-wise, 31, 18, and 6. Still fourth in their division, but it's very close. You know, one win there, and they're in second. The Silver Knights are crushing it, though. Let's see, AHL scoring leader is actually Farrell now. Over a point per game. Still can't believe we got him in free agency. I don't know why like some of the AI teams let go of the prospects they do. NHL-wise, PD up to over a point per game now, so that's awesome to see. Definitely we are a buyer, like we're first in the division, second in the entire league. We'll see what is out there at the deadline. Erik Karlsson. I mean, imagine him and Quinn. We'd have like two of the best puck-moving D-men in the league. Tarasenko would be pretty nice as a rental, 1 year left. Ryan Ellis there, obviously this is him healthy. Brendan Gallagher, Christian Dvorak, Backstrom, Voracek, Varlamov, Kevin LeBanc, Edmondson. There's definitely some options here. I feel like the only way a Karlsson deal works is if they retain, which they're probably not going to do. Also, we're already paying Drew Doughty $11 million, so I feel like the Karlsson deal is just, there's no way it happens. And if you're curious, guys, the rookie here, Amonte, already 84 overall now. 31 goals and 17 assists at the deadline. I think he's definitely got a chance at the Calder. I'm honestly not even going to look at Bedard yet, though. I want it to be a surprise at the end of the year and see who does better. That's an interesting one, guys. National Predators here offering us Alexander Carrier for Herbal and a 5th. Hopefully I'm saying the goalie's name right. I'm not exactly sure. It's Czech. But honestly, I don't know. High starter there. 69 overall. A few X factors. I did want Carrier during the free agency period, but 83 overall. 27. He's now done growing. It's a lot to give up for him. I feel like if we could get him for cheaper, I definitely would. Eberle for the same thing. Plus they want Jet Wu. Ooh, I feel like Eberle, we already have a lot of kind of middle 6 wingers. I assume he's like, 84 overall or whatever, in which case it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us. Yeah, no, we can pass. Alright guys, so the trade deadline's almost over now. We got 5 minutes left. I'm trying to get Sale, medium league potential, tons of X factors. First round pick, medium league goalie, low top 6 forward. Value was pretty equal. We got 2 minutes left. I'm going to throw on a 3rd round pick as well. I don't think it got through. I think it got rejected there. Basically, I was looking all around, and I really just couldn't find a trade to make. Like, we're in a little bit of a weird spot where I think we're a good team, but I'm still not, super confident enough in our team to go out and start, trading picks and prospects for veterans. Also, too, it's so early on in the franchise. I feel like that'd be the wrong move long term. So we're trying to make that big trade for Sale at the end, but I knew like it was going to be very expensive and kind of ran out of time as well. Jonathan Duran there goes to the Detroit Red Wings. Quentin Musty, the Blackhawks. I was actually looking at him as well. He was on the New York Rangers with Sale, but obviously I was more worried with the medium elite prospect than the medium top 6. Kyle Gator there, the Blue Jackets for Boone Jenner. Interesting. Jake DeBrusk, the Dallas Stars. JT Comfort, the Coyotes. Barbano there, the Islanders. Grizzly to the Florida Panthers. Yeager to the Flyers. Ryan Ellis, a 3rd and a 4th, go back to the Kings. Wow. I mean, the Kings obviously are a much better team than they were last year, but why are you trading Yeager? I guess Ellis is like a pretty decent return. He's 86 or 87 overall, but still a pretty nuts trade. Jesper Boquist there to the Arizona Coyotes. Zucker to the Devils. Backstrom to the Red Wings. They're kind of loading up. Oshie to the Devils. Edmondson there to the Panthers. Dvorak there to the Sabres. I see Sal got Kane Korczak there in return for Justin Schultz. So a pretty active trade deadline for sure, but definitely, yeah, this was the trade of the day. That's nuts. And so it's now the end of the season here, guys. We have a record of 45, 25, and 12. A solid year for sure. 102 points there. AHL team, 42, 21, and 8. 92 points. Second in their division. AHL team, Farrell there, 74 and 71, so over a point per game. PD, 90 and 82, also over a point per game. Love seeing that. So we'll see how everyone else did on this team. JT Miller, 81, basically a point per game. Brock Besser, 75, is very solid. Hughes, 66. Amonte, 60 as a rookie. Cannot complain. Kuzmenko there, 56. Garland, 55. So what do we have? 7 guys there with 50-plus points. I love it. Put Coles in even, 45 for a 3rd liner is very solid. Sanika, 35 for a 4th liner is good. Drew Doughty, 33. I'd like to see him produce a bit more. Same with Hollinger's 30. Gostisbehere's 30. But, I mean, overall team played relatively well. Goaltending stats here. Demko, 916, 2.78 with 37 wins. Pretty good numbers. I mean, depending on what everyone else does, there's a chance he'll be winning the Vezina Trophy. AHL-wise, after Farrell, you got Lecker there with 65, 35 goals. Jack Malone, 57 points. 23-77 medium top 9. Not too bad from him. Gungler there at 42. I'd hoped, he would score a bit more than that, but it's all right. AHL-wise, Martin had pretty good numbers, but obviously, though, Martin's really not going to grow anything for us, so not a big deal. Ovi there, leading scorer with only 100 points. Wow, so only one guy in the league had 100 points. That's kind of crazy, especially since he had 60 goals with it. Pasternak, McDavid, DeBrincat, all 99. Rantanen, Kane there, 98. Fox had 96 as a D-man with 89 assists. That's incredible. Wow, I didn't realize that, though. Robertson was only 1 goal shy there of Ovi. He's up to a 93 now. Ovi there, actually 92 overall, so lower rated. Defensive scoring, so after Fox, you got Carlson with 94. The Sharks did not move him. Cale Makar. Hughes did make the first page, but only 66 there. In terms of goaltender stats, Hellebuck did have the most wins, 40. Demko, 3 behind, with a better save percentage. Swayman, though, had the best save percentage for starters. Okay. And then the best goals against for starters is Jacob Markstrom. So I don't think Demko's stats can be quite good enough, but still not bad. Moment of truth, guys. Is it Connor Bedard? Is it Amante? It's Fantilli. Wow, 73 points there. Brisson, 69, nice. Rossi, 62. Weisblatt, 62. A big year from him on the Sharks. Amante, 60. So 5th in scoring. Brisson might get it just because his plus-minus is crazy there on the Blackhawks. Also, too, that means, Vegas did trade him there. Fantilli, 73, though, with the Preds is pretty nuts. The fact Connor Bedard only had 56 with the Kraken. 18.5 minutes of ice time. So, yeah, they were playing him quite a lot as well. That's honestly super surprising. Like, look at his stats. They're incredible. I thought he'd do better than that. He's also 87 overall right now as a rookie. But we'll take a look here, guys, at the standings. Obviously, we got first there in our division. We got third in the entire NHL behind the Avs and the Hurricanes. So, not too bad a year. 4 teams there at 100-plus points. The Red Wings sneak in the 18th spot to get the playoffs. Kraken actually got last. So, they might be going Bedard and Kivaharju here back-to-back. Goals for the Avalanche are first. Capitals second. Don't make it. We were 5th there. Goals against. The Avs had the best. And we actually had the 6th best goals again. So we've been like a very, very competitive team pretty much immediately here, which honestly is surprising to me. And especially because we have such a young core with PD, Hughes, Demko. We even got, guys to build around them that are coming up. Future looking bright here, I think, for Vancouver. Now, in the first round, we actually had the San Jose Sharks. They were trying to trade Carlson, and now, they're in the playoffs with him. Weisblatt there, that's a big reason why I was producing on the first line with Hurdle and Meyer. They got Svechnikov, Evgeny Svechnikov, that is, on the second line with Eklund and Couture, Lindblom, Kunin, LeBanc, Gregor, Sturm, Anderson. Defensively there, Ferraro, Carlson, Shankirk, DeHaan, Vlasic, and Benning. Goaltending-wise, Kakinen, Ingram. No more James Reimer. Okay, so I really think we should beat the Sharks here, but you never know, obviously, in the playoff sim. Even with the attribute effects set to 9 out of 10, I don't think, it matters. There's still going to be some, random playoff sims once in a while. We're currently 1-1. All right, so head to California now. And we win game 3, lose game 4, though, in OT. So series is tied 2 apiece. That's a tough loss. Wow, back-to-back OT losses. Can we force game 7 here? We do not. Lose round 1 to the Sharks. We had to beat that team. That was a tough pill to swallow. And the AHL team here got swept by the Wranglers. Wow. And the playoffs are now complete, guys. The Stanley Cup champions are actually the Calgary Flames, their divisional rival. Calder Cup champions, Lehigh Valley Phantom. And like I was saying, still pretty disappointing we lost round 1 there. The Sharks. Arizona Coyotes, though, jumped up from 2-1 to win the draft lottery. Seattle picks 2, so they're not going first overall back-to-back, but pretty close, especially since they got Shane Wright 2022, even when picking 4th. PD there, 6 points, 6 games in the playoffs, so point per game, really cannot complain about that from him. You can see Hughes there had 5 points, which isn't bad. Besser 4 goals, because Manko had 3, Doughty 3, so yeah, I don't know. I guess the guys could have performed a little bit better. Demko stats aren't terrible, nor are they, great. They're kind of what you'd expect, I guess, for a losing goalie in a playoff series. Now, Calgary here beat the Vegas Golden Knights in 6, beat the Sharks in 5, Jets in 5, before beating the Pittsburgh Penguins there in 6. Jeez, Crosby almost had a 4th Stanley Cup. Now, looking at the awards here, obviously the team awards we know. Individual here, Ovi with the Art Ross Trophy. Also, he's going to get the Rich Richard. Rantanen, though, got the Hart. Okay. Carlson, James Norris, back-to-back. He's just killing it. Kuznetsov, Lady Bang. Brisson Calder, as I predicted, the plus-minus stats just too OP when it comes to the awards. Lindholm there, Conn Smythe for the Flames. Markstrom got the Vezina Trophy. Georgiev there, though, with the Liam Jennings. Siegenthaler, Bill Masterton. Sharks coach, Jack Adams. Bergeron, Selke, now on the Islanders. Okay. Rantanen also got Ted Lindsay. Then Ovi, of course, with that Maurice Richard. Now, in terms of the AHL awards, guys, as I mentioned, the Phantoms win the Calder Cup. I don't think we won our division. No, we did not. So no team awards. Individual here. Cervenka, most points. Someone mentioned he's only like 37. He just looks like so much older, like an old uncle or something. Also got MVP of the AHL. Wow. Archibald there, most goals. Mrazov there, best rookie. Ahak, best D-man. Come on, some of these names, they don't even look real. Levi, best goalie there. O'Brien, MVP of the playoffs. Cervenka also got sportsmanship. Gravel, community involvement. And then Anderson, lowest goals again. So unfortunately, no awards for us this season. But we'll get to the draft. We'll see what moves we can make here to make our team better. Not just now, but also in the future. Eric Stahl retires with the Toronto Marlies. Brent Burns there calls it quits with the Hurricanes. I almost traded for him, so kind of glad I didn't because he's already retired. Erickson there also on Toronto. Same with Giordano, Nielsen, Cogliano. I guess Toronto's kind of like the retirement home. Goaltending-wise, we got Brian Elliott. Corey Schneider, bit of a Canucks legend, obviously. I know there was the controversy there at the Luongo, but he had some good seasons in Vancouver. So, like I was saying, guys, we'll get to the draft now. We're going to be picking mid-first round, I would say, so chances are really no one of note will be there, but maybe we can move up, maybe we can move back. Definitely have some options available to us. And look at this, guys. You got this Yzerman prospect. I think that's how you would say it. Obviously, spelled different than Stevie Y. Highly potential. Novak, Pittis, Kivaharju there, actually at 4. Taking a look here at the gems. Guaranteed medium top 6 at 100 needs a gem. That's really good, honestly. A low franchise defenseman, enforcer, 132. One of the weirdest scouts I've ever seen. I definitely want to get him just to see. Luke Misa there. I think he's medium top 6 at best. I'm not really sure why he's a gem. Do you have a good season? I mean, it was decent. Yeah, like, look at this guy. Sorted by potential. Koltsov there. That's crazy. He's at the top. Now, there's this Raymond Stoll guy who's supposed to go around 14, which is going to be where we're picking. I doubt he's medium elite. Actually, we're thinking he's NHL ready, and we're thinking he's got a bunch of X factors, so maybe he is. Now, Vinny here we drafted last time. We know he's got highly potential, so he could be a steal, late first, early second. All right, guys, so next year we're trying to make a pretty big trade with the Maple Leafs to move up from 27 in the draft to 12. I'm offering up Connor Garland, making just under $5 million, only 83 overall, although last year, production's pretty decent there, like 55 points on that second line. Thing is, we need that money, I think. Petey needs a new deal, but Colson also needs a new one. We are saving some money with the Myers contract, but still, if this trade goes through, I think it works out really well because we get the guy I was talking about at 12, which is actually a bit early for him, and I want to be safe. Also, Fraser Minton here, very solid prospect, 95 passing, 93 puck control. He could be an absolute beast, I think, in the future. Already 78 overall at 19. Value's pretty equal, both the pick and Minton are on the block, so see what the Leafs say here. Trades rejected. Okay, I thought it was pretty close, and I still really like the deal, like, in concept. Riley Stillman, we don't really need anymore. They like him. I can throw him on just for free, basically. And there we go. Okay, so that is a great deal for us. Shed some cap space. And again, we're going to get our guy here at 12. So hopefully he's still there. He should be. He's ranked 14. Yeah, okay, so Raymond Stoll, please be good. He's a gem. Miku Koivu, look at that. Come on, we were just hitting these mid-round first. 80 overall, medium elite at 12 is insane. Magnetic, 1T. Apparently he's good at the lacrosse move. Close quarters, make it snappy, snipe. Also a 90 shot. Wow, okay. So back-to-back mid-round first steals for this team, which is kind of what you need when you're competing. Sterner here at 11. Calabrini at 10. Dickinson, 9. Hellenist there at 8. 78 medium elite. Vastin there at 7. Catton at 6. Demidov there at 5. Kivaharji went 4. He's a 78 medium elite. Pittis, 3. Novak, 2, 84 medium elite. First overall's 80 high elite. Okay, so interesting kind of like top 5 there in the draft. All right, guys, next year trying to make a small trade with the Red Wings to get their 4th round pick. I'm offering up Truscott here, 22 years old, 73 overall, medium top 6, which is like okay, but it's not amazing. Baines here is actually really not the greatest, 23, only 64 with low top 9. That actually reminds me too, guys. Oh my gosh, Leo Carlson's on the block for the Red Wings. I would love to get him. I'm not sure what it would cost us, but that would, really set us up for the future. I just want to say, though, guys, one thing this kind of reminds me of, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode, but I also asked you guys last video, should we be allowed to trade for guys not on the block? I was thinking that could be like an added challenge, but it seems like most of you just wanted me to be able to trade for whoever I wanted, so we're going to keep it that way. Brassard's going to come back as the roster spot. I guess Robinson there, same thing. This might actually make it so they don't say yes now, even though I don't want those guys. Yeah, trades rejected now. That's annoying. I'm just trying to get, like, the low franchise potential dude. I'll throw in, like, a 6th here. Move up 2 spots now. There we go. All right, guys, and now next year we're trying to make a big-time trade with the San Jose Sharks. They have the back-to-back Norris Trophy winning Erik Karlsson on the trade block. I think it's because they're trying to rebuild, even though they actually made the playoffs somehow this year. They want to get rid of his salary, so I'm going to take it on. We're obviously a good team, back-to-back playoffs. I feel like after that first-round pick we just made, we got some really good young players on cheap deals. That's going to be our best window to win. So if we can get Karlsson back for Doughty and immediately goalie, I think it's worth it. Taking on an extra $500K, but Doughty's 87. Production-wise, Karlsson's just not even close. Puts up way more points, way better offensively. Doughty is slightly better defensively, but again, I think it is worth it to get Karlsson. Pretty cool value. We'll see what they say here. Trade is rejected. Okay, I feel like it's probably close. Also, too, guys, if you're wondering why I'm willing to trade Polacek, we got Herabal, who's the same age, much higher rated, and high star potential is basically medium elite, especially with the X factors. He'll probably end up being the better goalie. Now, to make this trade happen, I'm probably willing to add Miller here, 1961, low elite defenseman. He doesn't look too bad, but like, if we can win a Stanley Cup with Karlsson, obviously it's worth it. Let's see what they say now. Trade is still rejected. Okay, I thought he would honestly be the missing piece. We're getting up a lot here, but I mean, he's won back-to-back Norris trophies in this sim, so he's going to have a high asking price. Let's try a third next year, and if that doesn't work, we'll try a second. Okay, the third didn't work. I think the second next year is probably my last offer. Again, like, we can afford to give this stuff up, and we're getting in a beast like Karlsson. He'll probably retire 2 years' time, which is about our window before those first-round picks need new deals. So let's see what the Sharks say here. Trades accepted. Okay, finally. Obviously, we had Doughty there for 1 year, but we needed to include him in the trade for the salary reasons. Otherwise, it would have been literally impossible to get Karlsson. So I feel like between Petey, Hughes, Karlsson, those three can lead us to a Stanley Cup. And as mentioned before, guys, I really want to get Leo Karlsson here on the Red Wings on the block. I feel like he would kind of add to the Swedish vibe of this team. We've already got Petey, we got Lekkerimäki. We'll add in Karlsson here. I'm offering up Shane Gostisbehere, who I feel is definitely expendable now. Bringing in Karlsson. Tons of teams want him during the season. If we can package him with next year's first, definitely worth it. I doubt this first round pick is going to get somebody anywhere near as good as Karlsson. So it's a good trade for us. If the Red Wings want to compete now, obviously Gostisbehere will help them more for that. Plus they get the first next year. Let's see what Eichmann says. Trade is rejected. Okay, so I thought that would have been pretty close. I mean, the best we could do, add a second this year. This is a pretty huge package, but I think Karlsson is worth it. And again, we have like a trio of awesome prospects to build around in the next 2-3 years. Come on. Still says no. I don't know if we can do better than that, honestly. Unless it's like JT Miller, but that would kind of like defeat the purpose of us going for it right now. Since we couldn't get Karlsson, guys, next year I'm going to try and get Colby Barlow from the Maple Leafs. High toxic potential there. 74 overall at 19. I feel like he's a pretty good prospect to get back. Again, I don't really think we need Gostisbehere anymore. I don't mind just getting rid of his cap space, making our team a bit more flexible. Jake Muzzin's just there for the roster spot. We could re-sign him if he's cheap, but I doubt he will be. Also getting a third back from the Leafs, adding a second. We actually don't really need it in this draft. We'll see what they say. Like, the value's pretty equal. Trades accepted. Okay, I think that was a great trade for us. Adding a solid prospect. And so our next pick here, guys, now in the third round is pick 80. I'm going to reach a little bit. There was a guy like around the 100 mark I wanted to take. Yeah, right here, Blunden. Guaranteed medium top 6 gem. Eugene Blunden. Only a 51 overall, and he's a gem. I thought he was going to be way better, but that's okay. And our next pick here, guys, 122 in the fourth round. This is the one I'm very, very curious about. So this is going to be the low franchise guy, Koltsov. Low franchise gem. And he's a 67 low elite. That's pretty good. I was pretty much guaranteed not going to be low franchise. That would have been like the coolest prospect ever. But for defensemen there, Shot's actually pretty solid. I'm not picking your guys in the fifth round. In terms of like the pinned players, nothing crazy. There are actually a couple guys left who could be medium elite. Artem Svechov here. Let's take a chance from Estonia. Medium bottom 6. I mean, you're not going to get those all the time. That was actually our last pick of the draft, but honestly, that's okay. I'm pretty happy with our 12th overall pick. I mean, the couple later guys we got, and of course, the trades we made. So throughout the re-sign phase, guys, I was looking at this too. Karlsson had 8 points in the playoffs of the Sharks. So hopefully, if we do make the playoffs this year, he can go off for us. Now, Petey needs a new contract. Actually didn't realize. I feel like he probably would have been cheaper beginning of the season because he's now a 92, up from a 90, I want to say. Quinn Hughes, though, was a 92, dropped to a 91. Let's see. Petey only wants 11. That's honestly, I think, very, very reasonable. Let's try and get him, say, $10 million for 8 years. Hopefully he'll say yes. I think 10-5 definitely gets it done, but 10 we have a chance. Put Coles in, of course, jumped in rating on a contract here. Now an 85. Oh, wow, that's actually really cheap. Wow, we can get him pretty good. Let's try 4 year. Let's try 5 year for an 85. 3.5 or 5 years for him, I think's pretty great contract if he says yes. Now Jake Muzzin is still an 83, but he wants 4.2 million. I'm gonna pass because there could be other guys cheaper, similar rated in free agency. Rathbone we gotta keep. He's 83 now. He wants 5.8. That's a lot of money. Especially like raising me in our lineup. I'm just gonna qualify him. I'm not sure kind of where he's gonna fit. Tyler Myers, Luke Shen, I'll bring back if they're cheap. 2.6 for Myers. What does Shen want? 1.75. I mean, I wouldn't mind bringing Shen back one more year, 1.5 to play the bottom D pair. Myers, he is big. What's he want for 1? 2.5. I mean, they're really not. They've done pretty well in the bottom pair. I feel like, oh man, I'm gonna say no to Myers for now, but I think, you know, Shen at that price was pretty good value. Nick Bonino, 1.5. I only got him last year because he was so cheap. I would like to keep Stahl though, even though he's actually dropped in rating to 81. I feel like he's still a very capable fourth line center, especially at $1 million. Nika here also dropped a bit, 2.2 for 2. That's a lot for an 81, so I'm just going to qualify him as well. Now, Stoll, who we just drafted, obviously needs a contract. Signing him, going to have him in the top 9 forwards. Johansson's an 80. So, see, he could take, like, Myers' spot, bottom D pair. Wow, so let's do 2 years for sure. $1 million bridge deal. I think we get a lot of good value there. Now, he actually wants a two-way, so I guess the most we can offer is 950. Hopefully, they'll say yes. Even, like, Ryan Johnson here, 79 overall, there's a chance he could become an 80. Play on that bottom D pair as well. Also, too, guys, speaking of the defense, I see PD Jr. here needs a contract, so definitely got to keep him. I think that's just too funny. And I look at the goaltenders here, guys. We still got Demko starting, Nedeljkovic there, backing him up. Martin's 29, can finally let him go. I feel like Silov's 23.78 is a decent enough AHL starter. He wants, like, no money either, so yeah, we could do, like, a 3-year deal on him, league minimum. And Herbal here is now 71. I feel like it's time for him to be the AHL backup, so get him signed as well. And so there we go. Jordan Stahl's returning to the team again. I'm thinking he'll be like the fourth line center. Luke Shen wants a bit more money. PD, though, says yes. Let's go. 10 million. But Colson also wants more money. Silovs, though, said yes. Same with Stoll, our first round pick, along with Herbal. So because I think the 4-year deal for Colson is still really good, I'm just going to give him exactly what he's asking for. And Luke Shen, I'm actually going to give like an extra 25K too, because I think 1.7 is fair. And then surprisingly, guys, Johansson said no. I think it's because even though he's asking for a two-way, when it goes to 2 years, he wants more money than a two-way, so you actually have to pay him extra. There we go, guys. Luke Shen said yes. Same with Colson, Johansson as well. So I think everybody's now under contract, except for a couple guys. We got 15 million in cap space, and it's just Rathbone, Myers to Nika. I'm fine with Myers going to free agency. Maybe we bring him back, and maybe we don't. The two qualified guys, again, just asking, I think, for too much money based on their overall. So I'd rather just wait out the summer and hopefully get them cheaper. Also, two guys if we want to, we can bring Ryan Reeves back. He's now at 77. He wants pretty much no money. He's 37 years old, though. I mean, we had a pretty good season last year. Like, I think he probably helped out on the fourth line. I'm trying to think. We're definitely going to have Stahls and Nick on the fourth line next year. Could have Reeves with the other wing position. Or we could get somebody, I guess, who gets the box less. Does his physicality make up for putting us on the PK for 99 minutes last season? I'm honestly not sure. I'll probably just let him go. I could probably find somebody who's almost as good physically that doesn't take as many penalties. And so we're done free agency here, guys. We have some money to spend. $15 million. We'll see who's out there. Sebastian Aho would not be too bad. 93 overall, wants 13 million. Devin Tays, 90 overall, wants 12.4. I mean, you can afford both those guys. There's big price tags. Patty K, 9.3. Teravainen, 9.6. Bergeron again in free agency. Tarasenko was actually the guy I was thinking of once I saw he had 1 year left at the deadline. Hronek wants 7. Wilson there to Foley, Kapanen. I feel like, obviously, long-term, Aho Tays contracts could mess us up, but Tarasenko on like a 2-year deal would actually be not too bad. Kind of curious, as goaltenders, Connor Hellebuck available, along with Jeremy Swayman and Ilya Sorokin. 3 elite goalies, but I'm very fine, I think, keeping Demko. Take a look here at the two-way goalies. No one too crazy. And our next year, guys, looking at two-way skater. To see Nick Foligno's available. Roll there, fourth liner, 36. To get the born leader X Factor. Pretty solid defensive stats, pretty good physical. I feel like kind of exactly what we're looking for there. Fourth line wing. Hopefully they'll sign with us. And our next year, guys, looking at some free agent defensemen available this year. Just kind of be stopgaps. I'm looking for more defensive guys. Alec Martinez, I think, fits that role. He's 36, though, so definitely like a 1 year. He wants $3 million for 2 or 2.4 for 1. We'll probably have to still pay him like that extra for 1. So we'll try like 3.1, see what he says. Also, TJ Brody, 82 overall, tons of X factors, 2-way defenseman. Could bring him in. Again, we have to replace Tyler Myers. Even with Rathbone, I think, you know, there's still a couple spots up for grabs. We'll try 2 years at 2.2 for Brody because he is only 34. So those two, we have Hughes, Carlson, Rathbone, Shen. I think that'd be our top 6D. And now we do still have some money left, so I'd love to bring in Tarasenko. I think he'd be an absolute beast in that top 6. I think 3 years is the max I would give him. Probably 2 would be ideal for us. Let's try hopefully this would still fit in with like the salary. Let's try like 9.95 for 2. We want to make sure we get him. And again, I think, you know, he'd be a beast. That should work money-wise. As long as we can get Rathbone for cheap later in the summer. Otherwise, that might put us in a bit of a sticky situation. So there we go. Foligno says yes. We have 4th line forward. Brody also said yes. Sam Martinez. Waiting to hear back now from Tarasenko, who does say yes. Okay, so there we go. I got the guys we needed. Just have to wait on the RFAs now. Still have $3 million to spend, so yeah, we should be good. And I just saw Blake Lizotte here is available in free agency. He has a 2-way player, 81 overall. He's got pretty good playmaking stats, pretty good shot. I think worst case, he's like an awesome AHL player. So I'll do 2 years what he's asking for, 900K. I don't think he makes an NHL team, but again, like, that's just too good of a deal to pass up. And so I just sent the end of summer here, guys. As you can see, Rathbone and Nika both still unsigned, but asking for a lot less. Hopefully, we can get them under contract. We'll try 2.5 for 1 year on Rathbone. See what he says. Nika here, we'll try 1.5 on. I think that'll work. It shows we have $3 million in cap space, but the way it works, like, they're taking over for $1 million player. If I still had money, Nyquist, 84 overall for under $2 million. I think it's a great deal. I'm sure some team will get him. Also, Team McIsaac here I saw. I thought he had to be an RFA. 24.79 UFA. I don't know what Eisman's doing, but I'm going to give him a contract offer here. We got to. I waited all the way to the end of the summer. I'm not sure why a single team has not. I'm going to do like a 3-year here, 950K. Should end up being like a low 80. And there we go, guys. So Nicholas said yes. Rathbone was going to say yes, but we don't have the cap space because of the Nika deal. McIsaac, though, did say yes. Okay, so we'll have to wait till the fall to get Rathbone signed once we can kind of move around the contracts. And so after moving around some contracts, guys, gonna make an offer now on Rathbone. We actually have 4.2 million in cap space, more than enough to sign him. He wants 2.7 there for 1 year. We could actually get him signed for 2 years. See if he'll say yes to a $4 million deal. That way we don't have to worry about this again. Honestly, too, I might be trading him. As you guys will see, we're actually kind of just already set on defense. I'll show you guys what the defense looks like right now. We got Hughes, Carlson, top pair. Johansson's now an 83. And he's making 1.1 million, so a great contract. We then have Brody, Martinez, Shen. Even after Rathbone, you got Johnson, who's an 81 in the AHL, along with McIsaac, Wu, both 80s. So it might make more sense to trade Rathbone if we don't get the right chemistry. Like I was saying, guys, we're actually getting really good defensive chemistry right now with the guys on the team. So I'm going to try subbing out Martinez here for Rathbone just because he is the lowest rated. I'll still get +2 on the second pair. Not breaking up the Shen, Brody +5. Although, could try Martinez here over Shen. I'm kind of, leaning towards Shen because he's been on the team before. Do still get, +5 there with Martinez, but Shen's cheaper. He's already been here. So I think Martinez is the odd man out. We'll just try and trade him away for some late pick. So right now, guys, I'm going to try and trade Martinez to the Sabres for a 3rd round pick. It's actually the Canadiens' 3rd round pick. Davies just there for the roster spot. We're trading $1 million on him to make this trade happen. And they do say yes. Okay, so there we go. I guess we need both him and Brody. So next year, guys, I'll actually show you the lines for this team for the year. Very excited. This team is going to be absolutely stacked. So first line there should be Amante. I want to keep him growing. Now at 84 with that shot. On that first line, playing with Petey and Besser. I mean, come on. Second line there, you got Tarasenko, Miller, Kuzmenko. I feel like they really round to the top 6 nicely. They're balanced. They should dominate. Both lines, of course, getting +5. Third line, you got Hollander, Stoll, and Podkolzin. Stoll we just drafted. What was it? 12th overall there. Amazing shot on him. He's playing in the middle. Fourth line there, so Nika, Stahl, Foligno. Like, that looks really good as well. Defensively, just showed you guys Hughes, Carlson, Johansson, Rathbone, Brody, and Shen. Looks very, very good. Goaltending, no change. Demko starting. Nelovic there backing him up. In terms of the AHL team, we got Silov starting. Herbal backing him up. Forward-wise, that first line's nasty. Sean Farrell's down 82, playing with Lekermaki 79, Gunler 81. So if the NHL team just wasn't, so stacked, they'd have a spot on it. But honestly, none of those guys are really 4th liners. So until there's a spot in the top 9, they're probably just kind of stuck in the AHL. Even the second line AHL, Klimovich here randomly grew a ton in rating. Now an 80. I swear he was like 74 last year, 75. I got him signed 850K for 3 years. Medium top 6, 21 years old, 80 overall. Like, that's really good. Lizotte in the middle there. Minton, we just got back in that trade on the left wing. Even the bottom 6 isn't too bad. Defensively here, McIsaac, 80 overall now. Paired up with Johnson, who's an 81. Wu, 80. Yermo there. PD Jr. on the bottom pair. And Dorrington. So I think both teams look very good. No change to captaincy because we didn't trade away PD, Hughes, or Miller. Now, before this episode ends, I'll show you guys the ratings for next season. We've got 95 offense, 93 defense, 88 goaltending. Look at that. Connor Bedard on the Kraken with Tyler Bertuzzi. Okay, so we'll see if these changes will make us a Stanley Cup contender. I really think we should be. But obviously, you gotta wait till the next episode to find out. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.